Good evening. Henry Ford once said that if he had asked customers what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Now, Ford was a disruptor, but eventually his company was passed by his competitors, which brings us to Bill Gates, who once said that success is a lousy teacher because it seduces smart people into thinking that they cannot lose. We live in a world right now with a rapidly accelerating pace of change, where disruption is the norm. Last week's compact disc player is yesterday's iPod. It's today's streaming service on your iPhone. Organizations have to embrace consistent change. So let's take the taxi industry. Who would get in this cab, right? It's a horrible user experience, right? It was ripe for disruption. So enter Uber and Lyft. Now, the interesting thing about Uber and Lyft is that they don't own any vehicles. They're just middlemen who utilize technology to connect drivers and passengers, and then, of course, they take a slice of the action, but they rapidly have improved the user experience. What about home entertainment? Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Netflix, Hulu, they've changed the way we consume home entertainment. But somebody was disrupted. Somebody lost. I give you disruptive karma. For those of us of a certain age, this is really important to us. All this is predicated upon a model that was launched about 40 years ago by a Harvard professor named Michael Porter, who theorized that there were 5 forces that shaped market strategy. Now, in my opinion, the most powerful one is at the bottom, right? The threat of substitute products or services, the threat of obsolescence, of becoming obsolete. So what if I told you that there was an industry that dated back to ancient Rome, that today, conservatively, had a valuation of north of $350 billion. But this entire industry, this profession, is based on what's happened in the past. It's like they're moving forward, looking through the rear-viewed mirror. Precedent is almost more valued than innovation. But they have a problem. And that is that their customers, their clients, are pushing down on their top line of revenue. The cost and the revenue lines are stagnant. They're flat. Right? There is no economic scale. Now, I'm talking, of course, about the legal profession. And the problem that lawyers and law firms both face is that regardless of the problem they're solving, from the most complex to the most basic, every unit of output costs the same. They have a problem with constant cost. Customers, if we go back to the example with taxis and with home entertainment, customers drive change. In the legal profession, it's the same. They either drive the change or they replace their outside counsel. Henry Ford, if we go back to him for a second, revolutionized the moving assembly line. Tesla's doing the same with that. They're utilizing robotic process automation. They're executing repetitive tasks. The same is happening in the legal profession right now. We call it knowledge automation. Combining inference engines with the expertise of lawyers, expert systems are gathering data, reaching conclusions, and executing actions. And machine learning is enabling systems to learn from experience continuously and improve. A great example of this, there's a major investment bank that built a system that automated the analysis of documents for loan applications. It saved 360,000 hours of attorney time. It did it in seconds. AI is now being used to formulate and predict outcomes of matters in litigation. But the biggest impact is probably going to be in the access to justice. Right now, 1/3 of all Americans, over 110 million people, qualify financially for legal assistance and legal aid. There are only 7,000 legal aid attorneys that exist. That's a problem. And this is where AI can help, because it can help provide expertise and legal guidance to those who need it the most, including, believe it or not, our veterans and our children. This is a start. We have a long way to go. That's my time for tonight. Thank you very much, everybody.